All right. Hello, everybody. Hey, this is Daniel Higgins coming to you live. Welcome to this episode of Daniel's Den. Thank you, everybody, for joining today, tonight, this afternoon. What's going on, Miss Janice? I see you hanging out. All right. So we're here chatting with some good content, just sharing a little bit about what's on my heart today. So you guys are going to be in for a treat. So you see the comments. So welcome, everybody. You see, we're talking about each generation. So welcome, everybody, to this live. We are live on YouTube, live on Twitter, along with Facebook. So no matter where you're at, thank you for hanging out with us today, tonight, this afternoon. What's up, Janice? It's good to see you. Tell the hubby I said what's up. You guys are awesome people. Love hanging out with you guys. Cannot wait to reconnect with you guys again during our next huge live event. It's always a pleasure. Tremendous pleasure to hang out with you guys. All right, so let me go ahead and throw this little banner up. All right, so listen, everybody. We just did a live webinar earlier today, and we were talking about creating generational wealth. We're talking about legacy wealth. We're talking about doing things in the right economic era and using that and leveraging that to move towards your financial freedom, right? And one thing that really just struck me is that you know this phrase, right? You've heard this phrase. Oh yeah. I see Miss Janice, absolutely. So you know this phrase, you almost know exactly what I'm about to say, right? Each generation should do what? What should each generation do? Each generation should get better, right? Do more, expand more, increase more, right? Move towards their greatness more. I mean, it's a huge topic, right? But when you look back, each generation should have some type of increase. Some type of an increase. When you look back at the generations before you, you see some changes, right? So, for example, my family's from Trinidad and Tobago. They started in New York. There were some things and some challenges that they went through. They went through to improve their lives. They wanted to harness certain parts of education, right? Try to break curses. Absolutely. I hear you, Janice. And as they continued to do that, the next generation saw what they did, were able to evaluate and see what was beneficial and make adjustments. So as you make those adjustments, you might look back and say, well, all right, my uncles, my aunts, they went this path. And you can see the end result of their path, or you can see a glimpse of, okay, this worked, this didn't work. And you want to glean from that. You want to make adjustments so that each generation accelerates and does better year after year, generation after generation, right? So that's a huge thing. I'm working on some stuff. So I'm very focused on every word that comes out of my mouth today, tonight, this afternoon. So point blank, someone has to build something that outlasts themselves, especially when we're talking about financial freedom and generational wealth. Someone has to take an initiative and say, listen, no one has created passive residual income. Nobody has created something that can be passed down to multiple generations when it comes to finances. Someone has to take that class, so to speak, right? Someone has to say, that didn't work out. Let me see if I could adjust this here a little bit. Someone has to say, well, how do we do that generational wealth? How do we do that passive income? How do we do something that's going to outlast my current generation and bleed over to my son's inheritance, bleed over into their son's inheritance? Someone's got to have that thought process going through their mind, because if no one thinks that, what's going to happen each generation is just going to be what? Starting over, not having new information, or starting from scratch, starting from zero. If I had to work X amount of years and get at this point in time, they're going to have to work X amount of years. They're going to have to pay their dues, so to speak, right? That thought process of they're going to have to pay their dues, right? They got to figure it out on their own. School of Hard Knocks. I went through School of Hard Knocks. They got to go through School of Hard Knocks. So each generation should figure it out on their own. I really encourage everybody to get this book, How Rich People Think, from Steven Siebold, so that you can start exchanging middle-class thinking for what the wealthy are thinking. It's different. And I love this book. I'm not even going to read from it tonight, this afternoon, but I love this book because it challenges your thinking, because it gives you contrasting thoughts. Literally, each chapter tells you two contrasting thoughts, from a middle-class point of view and from a wealthy point of view. And you're going to have that clash. And that's real, because your family will say one thing, but have they become financially free? Have they tapped into passive residual income? Have they tapped into creating generational wealth for themselves, right? Or you're hearing from someone who has created generational wealth. One amazing gentleman in our organization has been financially free now for over 8 years. Then another gentleman has been financially free now for over 27 years. They both think differently than what maybe your family members might think, or extended friends and family, right? Because they had a different exposure. They're focused in and dialed in to different information. And that's what helped them shift from each generation to improve the next generation. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, we don't have to limit it to just the finances part. But honestly, yes, that's going to be important. Because once again, are your generations starting over and over and over? Do they have passive residual income passed down to them? We might have an opinion about trust fund babies, but if someone in a family took an opportunity, built wealth, and set them up, that's the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to build an inheritance for generations. Each generation should advance, each generation to do more. So another contrast or another viewpoint is that you cannot take what previous generations did and try to superimpose it on a current era, because it won't fit. It can't fit. You can take the values. I love what E.T. said. He said, my mom, I can take her values, but I can't take her work ethic, because she didn't create a millionaire lifestyle. She didn't create financial freedom. You take what you're supposed to take from each generation, take those important values, and move towards your financial breakthrough with the information that you need for your generation. There was a story that really, really rung true, because I'm listening and rereading a book called You Were Born Rich. Okay, You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And he just glanced over and talked a little bit about David and Goliath, and how the generation before David wanted to give him armor to face this giant. But you have to be aware that the people who might be giving you that armor have never faced that giant, who've never been in that same situation. And they have good intentions, and they gave you the armor because that's what most people do, is they take armor to the fight. But in this situation, he needed to be nimble. He needed to do something different that he was empowered to do for his era and generation. So he needed a slingshot and some stones. He needed something that seemed so simple to defeat that giant in his life. So get back with the person sharing this content with you, because what we have in our hands right now seems very simple. Grab a certificate, place or deposit and hold assets. Let those assets give you rewards. Compound those rewards. It sounds so simple that people will overlook it, and they will deny themselves an opportunity to slay whatever financial giant is in their life. Debt freedom, financial freedom. Each generation should do better financially and in all aspects. And guess what? When you're financially free, you have more time to spend quality time with family, friends, and loved ones. When you're financially free, you have more quality time to spend with your creator. Wow. Because it's that simple. I hear you, Miss Janice. I hear you. So get back with the person who's sharing this content with you. I was super ecstatic and very, very supercharged during our presentation. And I can't apologize for it, because the information just triggers me. Hearing Dr. Myron Golden lay out what's going on in this world and how we can move towards each generation doing more and having more. That excites me. Knowing that we have a global solution to help several people. Ooh, and it's straightforward and simple. I love that. What's up, Mr. Barney? Hey, how's it going, man? And it was a pleasure meeting you face to face also, Barney, during our live event in Atlanta. I love meeting people. I really do. I love being able to connect. I love being able to chat with you guys, see your faces, feel that energy. Janice has a great energy. I'm telling you, her and her awesome husband, I just love vibing with them. They're just cool people, right? We have some amazing leaders from all over the world. I mean, it's something very unique. And this is another thing. Each generation should expand their relationships, have global relationships. And that's just a side effect of being connected to Wealth Builders Worldwide, having international relationships, being able to connect with people all over the world. Each generation should have that too. Better relationships, quality relationships. Woo. Okay, listen, this topic is huge and it just kind of arrested my heart based on the information that we shared even earlier today on our webinar. So listen, get back with the person sharing this content with you. Each generation should excel financially, spiritually, in all areas. Don't just take one slice of the pie. Let's take the whole dang pie. Let's just eat the whole dang pie. Maybe I'm hungry. Take the whole dang pie, the whole wealth pie. Let's get it. The whole thing. If you've listened to that book, You're Born Rich, it's total prosperity. We've always been with Wealth Builders Worldwide. We've always been talking about total prosperity. We have never limited it just to money. That's part of it. Like I just mentioned, great relationships. There's no replacement for that. Favor, divine steps being ordered, connecting with people in a special way, pulling out your greatness. How about that? Having mentors to speak into you and help you make adjustments in yourself, in your person. Yeah, each generation should have that. All right, guys, I'm gonna log off, because if I don't, I'm gonna keep going. And then Janice is gonna say something, and then Barney's gonna say something, and I'm just gonna keep rolling. Okay, so thank you for the hearts. Thanks for everything, guys. Get back with the person sharing this information with you. Each generation should excel in so many areas, not just one. And we have our hands on a solution for multiple things, especially generational wealth. Someone has to make a decision in your household to create passive residual income that's going to outlive them, to pass it down to each generation. Thank you for your time. We'll see you on the next live stream. I am going to go ahead and show our live webinar link. We have webinars multiple times a day, every Monday through Saturday. I encourage you to connect with us live. Absolutely, Miss Janice. See, she's starting now. A wealthy family can come from you. And we have in our hands something simple where you click, 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 and start compounding those rewards. I'm not going to say nothing more because Ms. Jan's going to say something. Like I said, Barney going to say something. All right. Thank you guys for your time. I'm going to show you guys our live webinar link so that you could join us. We're live Monday through Saturday at noon and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us live.